Pseudo means sweat. Pseudo means sweat. So these glands are also known as another term of the sweat gland is pseudoriferous. And why pseudoriferous? Because pseudo means sweat, and are distributed over the entire skin. Mostly they are all over the body except the nipple or the external dermis. This secretion known as sweat and is then passed to excretory sweat duct which pour it on the surface. Now apocrine sweat glands are largely found in the axillary and genital areas, and their duct empty their secretion into hair follicle, and their secretion is odorless, but when its organic molecules are decomposed by bacteria on the skin, it gives rise to unpleasant odor. The basis of body, or means like we usually say that stinking smell comes from the sweat. It's not, because when it is secreted at that time it's odorless, but when it is left on the body surface, it's not washed, then the organic substances are released in the sweat. They are on the surface and they are decomposed by the microorganism, and because of the decomposition occur on the surface, the bad smells or odor produce. Apocrine gland. Another is they are on the specific area, genital areas. Apocrine sweat glands are on the genital areas. So here the major function of sweat is to reduce body heat by evaporation. So major function is to regulate the temperature, and here is one here contain nerve ending, and this I told you. Okay. Acha, here we left the one paragraph. There are two types of glands: exocrine gland and there are two types of gland: acrine gland and apocrine gland. Acrine means secreting. Sweat glands are far more in number and are particularly abundant on the palm, sole and the forehead. Sweat glands are far more in number and particularly abundant on the palm, sole and the forehead. Underline this line. More are there on palm, soles and forehead. And the number of sweat pores varies from 60 to 80 per square centimeter on the back to 400 per square centimeter on the palm of the head. So the sweat glands are of two types: acrine and the secretory part of the sweat gland absorbs fluid from surrounding cells and blood capillaries of the dermis. So these secretory cells, they are absorb the fluid from where? The surrounding cells. Means from where that this liquid comes in the sweat glands. So that is absorbed from the surrounding cells. And this secretion, we know that. One more thing, we have left this skin color complexion yesterday. This one, the abnormal conditions of the skin pigmentation. It's there on the page number 151. Albinism and leukoderma. These are the two abnormal conditions of the skin pigmentation. In this albinism, that the whole pigment is lost, this melanin, even from the hair, all the part, whatever the hair on the body, from hair and from the skin and the whole body is visible pink because of the blood vessels. And leukoderma, in that somewhere the patches are formed, black and white patches are there, and that is leukoderma. When due to loss of pigmentation, small or large patches are formed. So in leukoderma, patches are formed, and in this albinism, the whole body loss its color, and then skin looks like pink because the blood capillaries are present in the skin. Here also, did you know this Jibran, you read this para, sweat and sweating on the page number 153. What is hypotonic?
It is hypotonic is
less concentrated. Yes, less concentrated.
Hypotonic filtrate consisting of about 99% water.
How much water is there? 99% water is there in the sweat. And
0.2 to 0.5% salts and traces of urea 0.08% and vitamin C, ammonia and lactic acid. Normally sweat is acidic with a pH of 4 to 6. Sweating is the process by which sweat comes out on the skin skirt.
so just hold on. So mostly it is water and 0.2 to 0.5% salt, then urea and vitamin C and ammonia, lactic acid, and basically it is acidic or basic? So it is acidic or basic?
Acidic.
With the pH of? With the pH of 4 to 6. Yes.
Sweating is the process by which sweat comes out on the skin surface. Sweating is regulated by sympathetic division of autonomic nervous system. It helps in the thermoregulation and prevents overheating of the body due to high temperature. Sweating goes on at all times in minute quantities. Sweating is more when we are doing strenuous activities like exercises, etc. Heat-induced sweating begins on the forehead and then spreads over the rest of the body.
Yes, Ilma, next you read.
Cold sweat or emotionally induced sweating is brought about by fear, embarrassment or nervousness. It begins on palms, soles and armpits and then spreads to other parts of the body.
So sweat and sweating means mostly sweat is water and some amount of salt, urea, vitamin C and the lactic acid present, and then this function is to thermoregulation only. And next you read, Aksa.
Ear wax. From where does ear wax come in the ear? There are certain glands known as ceruminous glands, Latin word cera, which means wax. These are modified endocrine sweat glands found in the lining of the external ear canal. They secrete a sticky substance called cerumen or ear wax. The ear wax prevents the entry of insects and blocks the entry of foreign particles into the ear.
So we usually see that when we clean our ear, we found a waxy substance. So that is actually released by the gland. So today we discussed hair, nail and sweat gland. Yes. So just quickly tell me, Ilma, structure of hair.
One hair shaft is there, that is in the epidermis, and the rest of the part is in the dermis, and it consists of hair root, hair follicle, hair bulb and hair papilla.
Hair papilla. And hair papilla is?
Nerve. It contains nerve endings.
And
Connects the muscle.
richly supplied with blood and connect with bundle of
Straight muscle.
smooth muscles, that is erector blee muscle. That function is to hold on its place and to move in front or to push it. What is piloerection? Piloerection? This what you can say, this push the hair towards the upside, that is known as piloerection. That is also at the time of fear or the person feels cold, the goosebumps are formed because of these muscles. And the next one is nail that we have discussed. Yes, the different part of the nail, Aksa.
Nail plate, nail bed, and nail.
What is nail plate? The hard keratinized layer, that is known as nail plate. Then nail bed. Yes, Ilma?
That is just below the
Where the nail plate
where the nail plate rests.
The nail rested. Yes, and then nail matrix.
From where it originates, like from where the nail plate and nail bed originates,
Where the
also known as germinative
layer, germinating matrix, and its function is to produce new cell. Its function is to produce new cell.
then germinative.
Yeah. Apart from that, like you told, three parts. They have the nail fold also, where the nail overlap with the muscles. You want to say something? And means the matrix part, that the half moon portion which is visible on the nail, that is known as lunula. These are the terms you have to mention when you are making diagram. Then sweat gland, they are just what? Coiled tubular, and from where the liquid they absorb from the surrounding cell, and its function, it secretes their secretion on the surface of the epidermis, and its function is thermal regulation. And what is the composition of the sweat, Aksa?
water and 9%.
Time is I think over.
Salt also.
Yes.
Urea, ammonia, and
Vitamin C
vitamin C.
and
Lactic acid.
lactic acid. So these terms, when you go at home, revise one time so that you can memorize easily, you can remember. Because the terms which we covered in the previous class, you people are, a little confused. Epidermal layers, yes? And the next class I will ask all layers. So revise all the things which we have discussed in the previous class and today, because I'll ask in the next class. Call sir to close this.